something has obviously went wrong with that animation. Now, of course, my dear Mr. Frank, you haven't changed the nicknames of the players. We will have Pal playing against Krr, and we will have a Protoss versus Protoss match.
Yeah, that's the first PvP we've seen today. At the top right location, Krr, playing as a blue Protoss. We've seen him today. He had some connection problems, but it seems that all went well for this player, and he's in the semifinals fighting for the final spot.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And on the other side of the map, we have Pal. So there's a chance we will have Polish only final. And then Pal said, "Okay, let's go for it," because that's the very go-getter guy. Pal. He's always friendly, always laughing, and always smiling. He never gets mad, and that's something you should value in a player of Starcraft 2, because this game can get pretty frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, not as frustrating as Dota, but yeah, pretty frustrating, seriously. So PvP is a matchup in which we've seen a few changes lately, but at the core it really stays with the Casper, Melchior, and Balthazar of builds, which is the robotics facility, Stargate, and the Twilight Council, which kind of works like a paper, rock, scissors. At least that's what people are saying. I wouldn't say that this is all, like this beats that and that's it. If you open incorrectly, you lose the game. Especially that there's not really much of scouting going on in the later stages of an early game in the PvP, but it gives you some sort of an advantage, and it's up to the player to work with the advantage to win the game.
Yeah, and it all comes down to the composition, because if someone goes Phoenixes against you, even if you have went Robo, it's not that you're going to lose right away. You need to think smart. You need to sidestep from whatever the opponent is doing to you, and just try to work out an advantage someplace else and defend while you keep at it.
One Great Core expand, double assimilators from both of these players, so we are not going to see a fast expansion nor a fast 4-gate. Right now, everything that we are waiting for is the technology choice for both of these players.
Will they go for Robo? Will they go? Oh, we have Robo on one side, and on the other side of the map, we have a second gateway.
Yeah, that's kind of peculiar, because right now, most of the times when you build a second gateway is when you still are warping in a cybernetic core. So this could, I was about to mention that this could mean that Pal's gonna go for the Twilight Council with a bit more pronounced map presence from the double warp gate. For like a minute or two, because right now Krr is already building a few more warp gates, and I'm kind of wondering if this is not going to be a Blink Stalker 4 gate, but given the fact that we are on Cloud Kingdom, I would say that it's rather going to be a robotic facility Twilight Council.
We have the third gate. Blink is on the way. It's all very interesting. I mean, at this point in time, Pal just... and we have a Robo. Okay, so this is going to be a Blink play, perhaps with some dropping possibilities. You can either go Observer and then just blink up the ramp, up the cliff, or you can go Warp Prism, which also gives you vision, and just continue your aggression, which for me is a much better choice.
Yeah, well, basically, the robotic facility is over here to build observers and allow Protoss Blink Stalker player to blink up the cliff and harass his opponent in his main base and gain some positional advantage. And this is really important and quite different from what we see, let's say, on Daybreak, where you don't really have much room to blink into the main. This is much more easy on Cloud Kingdom, and it's actually going to probably delay any expansion attempts from Krr until he has some, sort
Do
of.
you see what's going over the edge of the map? We have a
Yeah.
warp prism filled with zealots, so that's a nice crispy outside with a nice cream filling in the inside. The question is, will Pal be prepared for it? Will he see that in time, or will he just fall victim to the aggression? All of his army is waiting at the enemy's gates, so it will all come down to the defenses, really.
Yeah, I would say that Kerr is going to be able to defend the initial push onto the ramp because he already has a few sentries and the immortal, and there's already a second immortal being produced, and actually it's finished right now. So that's a great position right there for Kerr to deflect the initial aggression. At the same
Okay.
time, he's going to try and drop, and this could be really effective right now.
Ooh, and will there be enough units to defend? Curry is using his warping wave as well with the warp prism. Now the question is, what will Pal do? He of course goes for a counter attack, but there's a heavy force outside, and oh my god, the observer gets picked off. So no blink up the cliff for him. A lot of workers killed, and there's also one immortal, and it seems it won't be enough. The immortal will fall, so it seems that Pal will be losing this game with 19 workers lost. Not a lot of things that he can do to get to.
Yeah,
back
that's
to this
actually
map.
that's actually the GG moment right now.
Yeah.
He only has 11 walkers against
That's the
25.
Blink
He's not
Starker
really
into
mining.
GG
Yeah,
build.
he's not really mining any minerals. He only has one immortal that's really battered, and now it dies. So there's not much that Pal can do right now. Kerr already has two immortals. He's actually not going to attack, and basically he feels free to expand at any moment right now. He
Yeah, what
already
he could-
just. Mhm.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, he already destroyed the observer. He still has this war prism over here, so he's probably going to shut down any sort of aggression from Pal because he's just he's looming over his opponent's base with the war prism. That means that Pal, every time he walks out of the door, there's going to be a
Yes.
burglar, trying to steal his. I have no idea what he actually could
Sheep.
steal because there's not much left.
I'm sure that in future on Ire they still have sheep.
Yeah, he's basically stealing all his stuff. So yeah, this is not gonna work. This is absolutely not gonna work.
So anyway, a very strong lead by Curl right now. Let's check for the supply. Army supply 42, a double lead for Curl right now. I'm just wondering, why doesn't he go and try to finish this off? He may still be afraid of some stalker play, but that can be easily solved if you overbuild your gateways. That's what Koreans do. When they are afraid of aggression, they stop producing for a round of two, and they just overbuild the gateways to get a much higher count than they are able to support with the minerals, and they go to attack, and they can make a decision. Okay, I'm being attacked and flanked in my base. I can warp in 6 stalkers instead of 4, or instead of 3 that I had previously, or I can just support my force on the front.
Pal has a sentry, so he's probably gonna delay this attack. But there's already blink on Curse stalkers, so he's really well equipped to just get up the ramp and basically smash face. Trying to clash with Pal's army, and he already, there we go. There's the huge blink. He picks up the immortal, and there's no way in hell that Pal is going to withstand this kind of punishment. This is the GG moment.
Yeah,
And he's
force fields are very good, but there's nothing you can do when there are so many blink stalkers in your base. He still warps in more stalkers of his own, but he ran out of force fields right now, so his main enemy, the immortals, get in, and that's a GG from Pal. Thank you very much, goodbye. And Kerr, he seems very strong, but on the other hand, it did come down a lot to the choice of build orders and their execution, so it's difficult to say what will happen the next game.
Yeah, Pal said something. I'm not going to translate that because it involves male genitalia. So, yeah. So yeah, Pal wanted to go for. Pal says, you know what? I thought about Colossus without Immortal, but no.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly. So
the
anyway,
problem.
guys, let us go to a short commercial break. We will be back with you in a second in this possibly last semi-final game. Hello and welcome to the news. Whoopsie daisy. So we'll be back in a second, guys. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Jägerlisk TV. Okay, guys, we're back with the second game of second semi-finals. It's Kerr against Pal. The game is loading. The next game, well, this game will take place on Daybreak, Ladder Edition, which for Protoss versus Protoss is significant because on Daybreak you just shouldn't go Blink Stalkers. And sometimes players do that just to confuse their opponent and may win a game in that course, but on Daybreak you should not just go Blink Stalkers. We will explain why while the game starts in a second.
Yeah, and well, the map choice is basically the same for most of the players. It's really something that you would expect because players want to play on established maps that they know. So I'm not surprised over here. PvP on Daybreak maybe a less chance of Blink Stalkers, but at the same time, history, shows us that Blink Stalkers are quite viable on this map, and I wouldn't say that they are out of the equation.
Why do you say so? Basically, my point being is the only place where you can actually use your Blink Stalkers is either in a direct engagement, army versus army, and to blink away and micro them into safety, or you can use the blink on the cliff here. But as you can see, the cliff is very close to the ramp to your main, so it doesn't make that much sense.
Well, and that's exactly it. You don't think that your opponent is going to play Blink Stalkers on this map, and then there's Blink Stalkers, and you think, right, that might not
that?
have. Yeah, I see the pylon that is in Palace Natural. So Kerr basically wants to win this game straight away. He's
we'll
late.
have a proxy gate. Yeah,
it's already after the he already had the midnight snack and everything, so he's late for for bed, and yeah, he wants to win this right now.
And now that's an interesting choice of the position. Pal didn't scout yet, which is also interesting, but usually you see players hiding these gateways behind the minerals because that's a place where you don't check, where you go scouting for your opponent. And what Kerr did is, he builds them up front. He's saying, okay, I'm going to proxy gate you and try to defend that.
Yeah, but Pal's not really scouting anything, so he
It
doesn't
seems
know.
you need a good night, midnight snack as well.
Yeah, Pal has no idea that this is coming, and this could be GG. I've no idea what Pal is going to
One.
do when it comes. And yeah, he
No!
doesn't see it. That
He
it's
doesn't
basic.
see it.
You can predict this because the probe, when you click
Oh,
somewhere on the map, the probe it has a predictable pattern of moving down the ramp, so
I
you can
know.
predict where you want to put your gateways, so they are barely out of view. And Pal's going with the
Oh
cybernetic,
my
or he's
god.
yeah he's building a zealot, but this is not going to be enough.
Ooh. I once saw a game where Hack defended exactly this, but let's see how Pal does. And
Yeah.
the gateway gets focused. A lot of the workers are just back trying to defend this, but more zealots are on the way. No, not very good for Pal right now. He's losing tons of workers, 6, 7, and none of them are mining, so he won't have money for another zealot. A stalker coming right up, but it will just be not enough to defend
Yeah,
this, I
yeah.
feel.
This is GG. There's 9 probes against 11. He has 3 zealots, and one of them is attacking the probes. So basically, they are still not mining anything. And the stalker is trying to defend against, but
Oh, very nice.
he's losing more probes in the process. And yeah, there's another zealot. And he's just gonna try and focus down the probes.
It's a nice
and,
attempt,
yeah.
a nice show off of Micro, so Pal gives us the show, which I think we should be all grateful for, but then it is just not enough to defend this. He's
Yeah.
doing his best, and he has killed so many zealots, but on the other hand, if you take a look at the other side of the map, Kerr is just mining, he's taking another a forge, so he doesn't
Yeah,
mind that.
yeah.
He doesn't
Yeah,
mind losing zealots.
there's 2 probes. There's no way you are going to recover from that. He's chrono boosting the probes out of the Nexus, but he has no money to build another probe, so the chrono boost is kind of wasted. So there's one zealot over here. He can just build more zealots and be done with it. He's gonna try and build the cybernetic core.
What a persistent bugger, don't you think?
Yeah. This is GG. 2 probes against 16. And there's no way. I mean, unless Kerr just falls into a coma for 10 minutes, then I'd say yeah,
Yeah.
this is some sort of you can
So,
just win.
with the last effort, with the last breath, Pal has defended this, but at the same time, he has taken so much losses. It's like defending your castle just to find it in ruins after the main battle takes place. You still have your kingdom and your crown, and perhaps the remains of a throne, but all of your possessions are in ruin, and the same can be said about Pal. And even though he fended off Kerr, then Kerr is just in a very strong lead. He may go DTs. That would be a cheeky build. He may go DTs. Now he's going Stargate. That's also a good
Yeah,
choice.
it's kind of weird that Kerr is doing that, because the only thing he has to do is basically attack. He has a gateway in his main. He has a lot more probes, so there's no need to go for any technology. He only has to build stuff, and Pal doesn't really have anything to counter that. The problem is that Pal just doesn't have any economy, so he has to resort to building probes and nothing else.
Yeah,
And,
that's exactly right. So he has a single stalker. He's building a sentry. My God, can you imagine that? That's a huge boost to his defending forces. That's a 50% boost to his defending forces. That can be said, but I'm afraid that you can't do all that much with a sentry and a stalker.
Yeah, well, there's the gateways are being attacked. You really could just get here with the stalker and a probe and just build more pylons, and that would be great. Pal with a sentry, but sentries don't really work well against phoenixes. And better still, you can just lift sentries and prevent forces from being put down. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's gonna open up the ramp.
And 3 phoenixes. That should, Curry could have ended this a long time ago. I mean, he's dragging this far too much. But on the other hand, he's playing it so extra safe. I have a I had another very bad joke on my mind, but I won't.
Go
I
for
won't
it.
say
Yeah, go
no,
for it.
no. When I become a famous English caster, I don't want to be quoted for my bad jokes early on.
No, yeah, we just gonna keep it for ourselves. Really.
Yeah, only 400 people listening.
Yeah.
Who will
So
tell?
going with the phoenixes, and yeah, he has a good number of phoenixes to destroy every single unit that Pal has. Without a problem. Pal only now building a second gateway, destroying these two gateways. Yeah, the sentry is gonna get picked off as the
And
first
boom.
one, and yeah,
So
and there we go.
fast. And a stalker. See you later, alligator. And another sentry. Bye bye. GG, good luck in the finals, says Pal, and Kerr is the second finalist of the day. So we will go into finals. Both players should be ready. We'll go into a short commercial break, but don't be worried and stay tuned. We'll be having some more Starcraft 2 on the internet, as they say, and we'll be back with you in a matter of minutes. See you around.